Here is a Lasko Pro Power box fan box. We're going to review the fan also, but right now it's just the box. This fan has become somewhat mythical to me at this point. I didn't believe that it actually existed until now. Um, the only reason that I really know about this fan is because about, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe longer than that, I was browsing on the Lasko parts store website and noticed this fan listed as a box fan that you could buy replacement parts for. And on the website, they call it a Pro Power industrial grade box fan, which to me, industrial grade implies that it has industrial qualities, things about it that could hold up in an industrial environment. So I'm looking at this thing and thinking, well, it looks just like a Power Plus box fan, which I have one of those, but this must be like a little bigger cabinet, heavier gauge cabinet material. Um, Maybe it's like a heavier plastic blade. Certainly has a beefier motor. Maybe like some hard rubberized feet and a more durable handle. Maybe a heavy gauge round power cord with a grounded plug, industrial plug. Where can I find this fan? I got really excited. And so I started looking at every industrial supply catalog I could think of, and all the usual places, Amazon, Walmart, everywhere. Turned up nothing. I found nothing about this fan. And I've been looking pretty persistently ever since then and never turned up anything. And then one day, about 2 weeks ago, there it was. Guess where I found it? Facebook Marketplace. Totally randomly pops up. I didn't even search for it. I just clicked on the Marketplace tab and it opened, and boom, there it was, top left. And it wasn't even like any kind of a store or like a legitimate business selling it. It was just some dude selling his stuff from his house somewhere in South Carolina or somewhere like that. And he wanted $10 for it plus $10.80 shipping. And he had disclosed that the fan was damaged. Just had a big dent in the cabinet that kind of caved in the bottom side of it a little bit. Not a deal breaker for me. I still wanted it and still bought it. But the $10.80 shipping didn't really sound right to me, so I halfway expected the guy to cancel the order. That's just how it goes on Marketplace. Sometimes people either don't realize that they had offered shipping or have no intention of actually shipping it. But then about 4 or 5 days later, I got a shipping notification, and here we are. So looking at this box, remembering that the website had said industrial grade, which I checked, it still does. And now we're looking at the box and it says Pro Power commercial quality, which is an instant bummer for me because industrial grade implies to me that there's like some kind of standard applied to that. Commercial quality means that I need to immediately lower my expectations because commercial quality, I think, is just open to anybody's interpretation at that point. So, Pro Power commercial quality box fan. What does that mean to you? 20% more air velocity wind ring system. I've seen that before. Patented weather shield motor. I've seen that before. 3 powerful speeds for custom comfort. What is custom comfort? It's a 3-speed fan. That's 3 speeds. That's all you need to say. Custom comfort. Durable with over 25% more steel than standard box fans. We'll get into that. 2-year limited warranty. Okay, well, let's unveil this thing. There it is. The unicorn. The Lasko Pro Power industrial grade. This doesn't look like any kind of industrial environment I've ever seen. What's going on here? The blue plug. What? Okay. It's a nice red though. The fan does look cool. I really do. I do like this fan. I'm not here to trash this fan. It's just a couple of points to make about it. Here is the instructions. This is all that was in the box. The box had previously been opened, so there might have been some other stuff in there I didn't know about. There's no feet. There's no feet in the box, and I know that there's supposed to be feet with this because it says do not operate with the feet missing. Well, guys, I guess we're not going to review the fan then. Sorry, end of video. So that's it. No more stickers here. When the cabinet was damaged, it pulled away this part of the front guard, which I glued that back together, and then it broke again when I screwed it back on. So here is the dent that I have tried to fix as well as I could. It was smashed in pretty good there, like the size of, you know, like a fist-sized dent that had kind of caved in this part of the cabinet right there, but it didn't hit the blade, so that's good. Crumpled up the rear guard a little bit. You can see where it stretched it there. To its credit, the guard did not break. It did rip on the front, but I think the back side got the worst of it and managed to hold up. You can see it is a little bit ruffled, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. And here is the back side. Looks like a motor I've seen before. Looks like a handle and a speed selector. The speed selector color is new and I like it. I do like the red with the gray. I think that looks really good. Again, I do like this fan. I'm not here to trash it. It's just Lasko. In a way, I feel bamboozled once again. Here is the stamp on the bottom, which you can't read all of it. I could not make out the amperage draw. So here's a production year, 2021 to 22. But the rest of it is like either the stamp didn't stamp properly or the paint filled it in. It's hard to say. but I can't read all of it. I would imagine that it says 1.0 amps, but I don't know. Here is the blue plug and the standard flat cord. Nothing very industrial about that. Let's plug it in and run it on the high speed. Medium speed, decent air movement, not industrial grade air movement, but if you've ever owned a Power Plus box fan or say a Weather Shield box fan, it's about like that. Here's the low speed. Now, one thing that I like about this is you can see the blades out of balance. I don't like that. That's not what I like. What I like is that the cabinet isn't shaking. If you had this motor and this blade in like the air circulator 3733 cabinet with the 3.5 inch wide cabinet, this thing would be shaking all over the place. But it's pretty stable. The blade's out of balance, but it's not making any noise and it's not shaking the cabinet, so that's good. Go back to high speed and then do a spin down. And off. Now, what did this say about the said durable with over 25% more steel than standard box fans. So I would assume the standard box fan they're talking about is the whatever the successor to the 3733 was, the B20548, I think is what that was called. I actually weighed this fan and compared it to one of those fans off camera, and this fan weighed 7.44 pounds. The air circulator box fan weighed 6.05 pounds. So this is also a 4-inch cabinet. The air circulator cabinet was 3.5 inches. But that still doesn't amount to 25%. I'm not sure where they come up with the 25%. Whether you go by the weight or the size of the cabinet, it doesn't work out either way. So I'm not really sure what they're referencing when it comes to a standard box fan. Just not sure what that means. But if we're talking about the air circulator box fan, Lasko's cheapest box fan that they offer, then by the weight anyway, that only comes out to about 18%. So not even 20, let alone 25. I also noticed when I pulled the rear guard off of this, when I went to fix the crumpled cabinet, I took note of the microfarads of the capacitor because there was no startup sound on this fan, and it just seemed kind of flat to me. I mean, it's pretty powerful. It moves good air, but it's just not. When I ran it next to that air circulator fan, just that standard air circulator fan, whatever the model number of that is, that seemed a lot more aggressive and ran faster than this fan. I think this fan probably still moves more air than that one, but I think it's kind of marginal. There's no way for me to really measure that, but the microfarads of the capacitor on this fan were rated at 6.5 microfarads. And I took the rear guard off of the air circulator fan and revealed that it had an 8 microfarad capacitor. So this actually has a smaller capacitor than that standard air circulator box fan, which is just very confusing to me. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I don't design these things. It just seems like to have a smaller capacitor in this fan when we're trying to pump it up as a industrial grade or commercial grade fan, and then to cheapen out on something like that, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So what I see here at the end of the day is a red Power Plus box fan. Which I believe also has the 4-inch cabinet. I even measured the gauge of the sheet metal that they used on the cabinet, thinking, well, maybe it's a denser material that they use. No, it's the same. It's the same material. It's roughly 30 thousandths thick, give or take a couple thou, depending on where you measure it, because the paint's not really consistent everywhere. It is a little faded. You can see on the bottom of the cabinet where they didn't really paint all of it. In the back there, and then in the corners, the paint didn't really get in there very well. But it is a decent fan, but it's by no means an industrial grade fan. Industrial grade fan means that I could like kick this thing over and it's probably not going to break, and the side of it wouldn't have caved in some shipping incident. You know what they could do is put an effort into making an industrial grade box fan. Keep the pedal blade design, but make it out of aluminum. Give it a slightly, make it a 4.5-inch cabinet with a thicker gauge material, thicker gauge sheet metal. Keep the handle and the speed selector design, but make it out of a more durable material. Keep the same feet, but put like a hard rubberized dip on it or something. Just anything. Put a thick gauge round cord on it with a grounded plug. Anything that resembles anything industrial or commercial at all. This is not an industrial or commercial grade image. I'm not sure what is going on here. It's okay though. It is what it is, as they say. I don't know where on earth you can find this fan still. This thing just popped up like a ghost on Facebook Marketplace. Totally random. Private seller. I don't know where you find these. I don't know how much they cost or anything. But it is basically a Power Plus box fan. And I like the Power Plus box fan. And I like the Pro Power fan. But I know what an industrial grade fan is, and this isn't it. Nice colors though. I dig it. I dig the colors. Thanks for watching.